Good morning. It's still beginning of the day, probably a lot more energy. Good morning. Hi, I'm Beena Khimani, and I am a part of partner ecosystem, and I lead global infrastructure segments team here in AWS. With me, I have Kalpan Rawal. He's global migration segment leader for AWS. And together we have been working with tons of customers who are going through this cloud migration journey and working with tons of partners who are helping make that happen. So we are here to share some of the learnings we have and to see how we can really make our partners and customers happy. So in a nutshell, the session is about two things: how to make our customers happy. And the second thing is how partners can make a lot more money while making our customers happy. Because it's all really connected. You know, the happier the customers, they're likely to invest more and grow their investment into public cloud. And that grows partners' business, that grows our business, that brings a lot of savings to customers. So it's all interconnected. So main focus area is how to make really customers happy and what are the opportunities for partners to make that happen. So let me get started with a couple of quick questions. How many of you are customers? Excellent, thank you. And how many of you are partners? Great. And how many of you know Cartwheel? In this session, you know, doing Cartwheel on the stage might be easier than really taking hundreds of services and applications from on-prem to cloud when you are working with a lot of legacy workload. They do, right? So there is so much opportunity for us to work together to remove those pain points and bumps and pitfalls and help customers go through this journey in much easier way and make it really easy for them to see the benefits of the cloud without going through all the bumps along the way. So there are three buckets of opportunities we'll talk about. During this session, please feel free to interrupt me at any time and ask questions. The more interactivities, it's going to be more fun. During the process, we always learn about customers' journeys and unique problems they are facing and how we can solve that. For the customers, we will talk about how we have seen customers go through cloud migration journeys and what are the challenges we can take off from your plate so that it's smoother experience for you as we progress through the presentation. So first bucket of opportunity is really workload specific migrations. So if you look at the type of workloads people have on-prem, there are so many common patterns we see and so many common types of the workloads. How we can build workload-specific migration programs to take it to their SaaS version. For example, JIRA workload. There is so much on-prem Atlassian JIRA, and there is cloud version of the JIRA. You take Splunk workload. There is so much on-prem Splunk workload, and you can take to SaaS version of the Splunk. Informatica, Infor, Oracle, you name it. There are so many different buckets of or types of workloads, And not everybody has to reinvent the wheel. When we take one workload and we take it to their SaaS version, when we migrate that, we figure out, we build the playbooks, and we'll dive deep into how to make that happen. Second bucket of opportunities is for DevOps consulting partners and customers. So DevOps and migration really go hand in hand. When we are going through this digital transformation, you are changing your business processes. You are going through the agile transformation. You are adopting new tools. You are delivering continuously in the cloud instead of delivering on-prem every 3 months or 6 months or whatever is your release cycle. Your security posture is changing. So everything is changing. When you are making your applications or services so agile, that is perfect time that you need infrastructure that is equally agile, that can respond to your new workloads and new applications and services very quickly. That is perfect time to move to public cloud like AWS. So that's the second bucket of opportunities we'll dive deep into, that how DevOps opportunities can grow into much larger cloud migration opportunities for all of us. The third bucket of opportunities lie into core strength of DevOps technology partners. When customers go through this large cloud migration journey for hundreds and thousands of applications and services, it's a big, hairy, audacious problem. We all know that it takes months, even years, to make that happen when you are shutting down entire data center and taking all your applications to cloud. During that process, you need tons of tools. And DevOps tools are absolutely essential for making that cloud migration happen. You need to discover the workload before you migrate. BMC Discovery tool is a great example that can help you discover the workload. You need to monitor the workload. You want to see how application or service was performing before the migration, during the migration, and after the migration. So we can talk about New Relic or Dynatrace or AppDynamics or any of the monitoring tools. It's a DevOps tool, but is it a cloud migration tool? Absolutely. You are going to need it for much larger cloud migration projects. You want to deploy your applications and services in the public cloud. Again, you are going to look at DevOps tools like Puppet or Chef or Code Deploy. You have migrated your applications, you are thinking about the service ticketing system. You are thinking about support. You are thinking about the issue tracking. So again, you think about JIRA, you think about Remedy, you think about PagerDuty. So as you are going through this migration journey of taking workload and application from on-prem to cloud, there are tons of DevOps tools which are absolutely essential to this opportunity. And this is a great way for DevOps partners to start positioning themselves as migration tools and make that happen. So with that, let me revisit that topic, because that is the essence of the whole presentation, is how do we make our customers happy, and how do DevOps partners can help make that happen, because it's a $2 trillion opportunity. There is absolute opportunity for all of us to make money while we are making our customers happy. So market opportunity for migration is extremely large, as we can see, and it is growing day by the day. Public cloud is a new normal. Now we are not talking about if we are going to, if our customers are going to migrate to cloud or not. They are going to migrate. Now it is about when they are going to migrate, what they are going to prioritize first. Are they going to go through lift and shift of their workloads, or are they going to really do the digital transformation? Is it going to be partial? Are there reasons for them to, not go through digital transformation for some of their workloads? So let's take an example of legacy applications which are already in the maintenance mode. Are they perfect candidate to really go through DevOps transformation? Probably not, because these are legacy applications which are already in the maintenance mode. All you need to do is really lift and shift them. Not a perfect fit for DevOps transformation. At the same time, there are some applications where there is a huge backlog of customers' feature requests. There are tons of issues or fixes that we need to deliver continuously. Customers are talking about it takes them really, really long time to get the feature they have requested in their hands. Our release cycles are too long for them to be able to work with. It's a perfect example where DevOps transformation is essential, and that workload absolutely should land into AWS, where they can not only get that response time from their application and service, but can also see that infrastructure that supports that, make it happen. Not just the infrastructure, but all the services and innovations. When you go to public cloud, it's not just the infrastructure you get tons of innovations which are happening on that platform all the time. So that's a great example where, DevOps transformation leads to cloud migration, versus there are many examples where lift and shift might make more sense. So identifying and prioritizing the workload for transformation versus lift and shift, building that timeline and that system is very essential. Again, I want to talk about BMC discovery tool that can help you identify what are your workloads, what are the patterns, what are the dependencies, and how we can prioritize, write different things. This talks about, here we are going to talk again about 3 different buckets of opportunities, which is workload specific migration, opportunity for DevOps consulting partners to grow their business into bigger business by expanding it to cloud migration, as well as playing on the core strength of technology partners to not only position themselves as a DevOps tool, but also as a migration tool. So let's talk about workload-specific migration example. So Atlassian JIRA is a very, very popular tool for issue tracking. How many of you use JIRA? Excellent. It's almost more than half the room is so familiar with JIRA. It's such a popular tool. And it is such a popular tool even in all our enterprise customers. We see it in every different place. The concerns we heard from our customers about JIRA is that they have too many on-prem instances of JIRA. Each instance of the JIRA, which is on-prem, has customized workflows. Only few people know what the customizations are. So even the CIO office within enterprise customer cannot merge all these JIRA instances to one. It's a difficult task. And customers have hundreds of thousands of JIRA users. So now what's happening is that they have to maintain this 5, 6, 10 different JIRA instances. They have to administer all of them. They have to keep laying out security patches on all of them. They have to keep upgrading the versions for all of them. And the JIRA users are complaining that, hey, there is a new feature that I really like, I was asking for, and they released it, Atlassian released it, but I can't get it until you upgrade this thing. So customers are struggling with increasing cost of JIRA administration because of too many instances, too much spread out on different versions, different security issues, different deployment, and other issues. There is a SaaS version of JIRA. It would be wonderful if these workloads, multiple instances, if customer can take it and move it to cloud. Then they don't have to worry about administration and infrastructure headache. They don't have to worry about upgrade and security issues. And their JIRA users can get the feature that Atlassian releases on the same day. They don't have to worry about anything. So what we did, we worked with Atlassian and walked into a set of customers. And we tried to migrate very large enterprise customers. We tried to migrate their on-prem JIRA into SaaS version of JIRA. While we did this migration, we ran into a set of issues. There were technical issues, there were business process issues. We had to reverse engineer a bunch of things and move it to SaaS version, the workflows and things. We ran into cost-related issues because if you look at the migration, project, if your cost for migration, running the infrastructure, even JIRA instances, it at X level, you are expecting cost to go down, but for a while you have both of them running parallel and you are experimenting and learning. So your cost is likely to go up before it goes down. So what we did, we learned with all these customers while working with Atlassian and IT Methods, a consulting partners whose expertise is in JIRA domain, in Atlassian workload domains. So we worked with them and we figured out what are the problems they are going to run into, what are the business process changes if they need to make, what are the technical integrations that they need to do, are there any cost elements that we can fund and we can take it off customers' plate. So we went through this exercise with few customers and ironed out all the issues that customers are likely to run into. We built the playbook. We've identified the consulting partners who can continue to do it, a set of them, including, of course, IT Methods. And we shared it with a larger partner community. What that does is that now partners can go and work with customers who have JIRA instances and migrate their on-prem JIRA to cloud JIRA without running into all the problems because we already figured it out. And that's the whole idea, that how we can work with partners to build those cookie-cutter models that you guys can scale it out without customers running into all bunch of issues. So the first 5 customers, worked as our partners to help us experiment, but the next set of 5,000 customers should have happy experience. They shouldn't be worried about, is it really going to work? What challenges do I need? I want to try this pilot, but I don't have budget. Can AWS fund it? Who is the expert in JIRA domain who can actually do it for me? Are there any tools I need? So everything, we figured out and we built an entire program around it that you can take and you can run with it. And at the end of the day, it will help our customers because they don't have to manage these 10 instances of JIRA. So, we proved the model to migrate this, and we built this entire experience so that the all workloads can be transformed. Now, as much as I'm talking about JIRA workload migration, this opportunity is about any type of workload. If you are a Splunk partner, if you are an Informatica partner, if you are working with a specific set of databases where you see very large on-prem footprint and they should move to cloud. Any specific workload where you see very large opportunity, we are happy to work with you to build very much workload specific migration program. We will invest with professional services expertise, we will invest in fund pilots, we will pull in the right consulting partners, we'll do everything. So at the end of the day, partners and AWS, we work together to make our customers happy. The ultimate goal again is happier customers so that they don't have to struggle every time. They don't have to reinvent the wheels. So in this Atlassian experience, you can see that at the end of this transformation, there is significant savings for customer. There is significant automation that is built into this entire transformation, that overall, not only their infrastructure cost goes down, their need for many technical experts is reduced by 2/3. So at the end of the day, Atlassian, it's a win-win proposition for Atlassian because they don't have to, they get a lot more insights from customers when they see the behavior, and they can prioritize the features customers want because they get no insights when it's on-prem. It's good for customers because they don't have to go through all the bumps. We figured it out. And it's a great opportunity for DevOps partners to think beyond DevOps and really become a cloud migration partner so that they can make that happen. Any questions so far? Yes, yes. Yeah, this is a specific customer case study with a financial services company. And what happened is that on-prem they had significant, they had multiple instances. So the infrastructure cost saving was because they had so many instances and they moved to cloud, everything is consolidated now. They have one SaaS version of the JIRA. So overall there is a 30% cost savings.
Quick question here.
Yes.
So our JIRA is right now hosted by a third-party provider.
Okay.
Is the Amazon hosting will be cost-effective, or the SaaS solution here will be more cost?
This will be SaaS version of the JIRA, which happens to sit on AWS, but it is SaaS version of the JIRA. But what we have seen is that when customers migrate their JIRA workloads, JIRA is usually integrated with third-party tools and other applications and services, and it ends up becoming bigger migration opportunity for partners, because when somebody moves JIRA, they are likely to move some of the other things which are also integrated all together. Any other questions on this particular? Yes, please.
Hold on, sir.
Yes. Kalpan, you want to take that? Security issues with migration?
I think I'm going to quote one of the biggest banks, Capital One example here, who have made decision to migrate a number of their application workloads and in fact a bunch of data centers. And they have quoted, I'm going to quote what Rob Alexander, their CIO, has quoted, that we feel our applications are more secure on AWS than we might have had on premises. And there are a bunch of other financial services customer examples on our website, and I can quote a few others, but that's a proof that the customers have seen the value of having the workloads secured on AWS.
So not only that it's already proven and again, that AWS security is much higher than many of the CIOs have their in-house, but also speaking specifically on JIRA, this is SaaS version of the JIRA. So Atlassian and AWS have already worked together to make sure that the SaaS version of JIRA is secure on AWS. So application is secure, infrastructure is secure, so practically you are covered. Sure. So the challenge is that because there are so many instances of JIRA, each one is customized and each one has different workflows and each one is on different versions. So the specific challenge for customer is to really maintain all of them, secure all of them, upgrade all of them all the time. So that administrative effort is too high and too spread out within large organization. So yeah, they have one place and they don't have to make changes because now it is SaaS JIRA. So Atlassian makes changes and they just get it. So they don't have to worry about anything now. They get new feature on same day. They don't have to even upgrade it. Yes. Any other questions? Okay. So, second bucket of opportunity lies into playing on the core strength of the DevOps technology partners. So, as you might have seen, all our customers know when they start planning these cloud migration projects for very, very large, set of applications or services, or even some of them are just experimenting with few applications or services. They are thinking about what migrations tool do I need? They go Google cloud migration tools, and there are a bunch of cloud X, cloud Y, cloud Z kind of companies will pop up that they have never heard of. So they are trying to think that what are the tools I need for migration, and they are coming across really, really tiny vendors who have built some tiny tools which may or may not scale. Some of them are good, some of them are okay. So now they are working with very unfamiliar set of tools. But they are not thinking, many of them are not thinking that DevOps tools are also the cloud migration tools. So what's happening is that when somebody is going through digital transformation, they are thinking, oh yeah, I need, DevOps tools because I'm going through DevOps transformation, I need DevOps tools. But when they are going through cloud migration, sometimes they connect the dots, sometimes they connect part of the dots, but they not always connect all the dots that all the DevOps tools are very relevant to cloud migration. And what I have seen is that, the positioning is also the key. So let me give you an example. You guys work with New Relic, Dynatrace, AppDynamics, right? So with New Relic, they have a beautiful monitoring tool. What we did, we worked with them to explain them that these are the, you have all the data. These are the before and after pictures that can help our migration customers see how migration is progressing. How was the application or service performing before migration and after migration? So when we put that picture together, customer sees, aha, I have this set of applications which we migrated from on-prem to cloud. Now the application users are saying that this is not working well. Everybody is blaming me that, hey, I did migration and the application's performance went down. Because migration projects are big, there are too many players, there are too many parts, moving parts. So when something goes wrong, there is always some finger pointing. We have to be honest about it, right? So what this migration dashboard did, New Relic's migration dashboard, that clearly could call out that, hey, it was working like this before migration, during migration, after migration. Now we can say, yes, actually migration, after migration performance reduced. So let's go and find the root cause and fix it. Or no, actually it got better after migration. There is problem is somewhere else. Let's go identify that root cause. So when you start seeing the same information from user acceptance test of the application after migration, that's where New Relic started playing a key role. It was always a great monitoring tool, but now it became a migration tool. So this is just one example. If we talk about Chef, we talk about Puppet, you will start seeing that the opportunity lies for every DevOps technology partner to think about how they can start positioning themselves as migration tools and how they can start solving bigger migration problems. Because as much as the features and the data might be same, sometimes those dashboards really provide customers visibility that they need. Let's take an example of BMC. So BMC has a great discovery tool. And we are all familiar with the discovery tool, which takes all these assets and applications and services, put it into the CMDB, and we start thinking it's all traditional, right? The old ITSM workloads. And now you are thinking that I'm going to cloud, I need new tools. You need new tools, but to discover the workload, still BMC discovery tool will help you identify what are the applications and services, which one do you want to prioritize, and which one you should be taking through transformation versus which one you should be taking lift and shift, and it will help you do some of these analysis. So as much as yes, it is a discovery tool, not a migration tool, but it has a very, very important role in migration opportunities. Let's talk about the cost optimization. You are migrating your workloads to public cloud. Now you are thinking, should I move to this company or that company or that company, right? And it's not easy to do apples to apples comparison. So you need some tools that can help you identify where you are actually going to optimize your cost for your specific set of workloads. Again, the cost optimization tool from BMC, was it a migration tool? Not really, but now it is a migration tool because it has very important role. So when customers are thinking about going through this migration opportunity, how we can make that really, expand it to larger entire, lift and shift or mass migration opportunities. Also, we talked about Atlassian playbook. Chef and Puppet are other examples. So this entire bucket of DevOps tools are really your migration tools. And putting those user interfaces where customer can see the migration journey throughout and helping them figure out that, that this is positioning is the key, that, this is a migration tool is another essential part of it. While we talk about this, I want to revisit what we have been learning from our customers. So as we work with customers, we identify that, when you are going through these different parts of migrations, so you are trying to discover the workload, then you are trying to prioritize the workload, then you are trying to actually identify, which one are going through transformation, which one are going through, lift and shift in different phases. Then you are trying to really do the actual migration. Throughout the process, you are monitoring, and then you are also, deploying. So then there is deployment phase. Again, there is monitoring. Then you have service ticketing, issue tracking, everything throughout the process. While you are doing that, if you are a customer, you are thinking about, oh my God, I need so many tools. how am I going to figure out which one is the best monitoring tool? How am I going to figure out which one is the best deployment tool or best discovery tool or best cost optimization tool or some, ticketing tool? There are so many choices. There are so many choices in the industry. So what we have done is that we have worked with many customers and partners. We took these tools in different buckets of categories. So monitoring tools or discovery tools or cost optimization or any of these buckets. We evaluated many tools. We technically tried everything to make sure, does it really scale? Does it really solve the problems for migration customers? And then we started, we don't want you to go and evaluate every single tool. So we went ahead and evaluated, but then we negotiated prices with these vendors. Then we listed as a private listing in our marketplace. So when customers want certain tools, they don't have to do everything. We already went through and created a migration toolkit for you. So you can take this toolkit, and for different phases of migration, you can take this toolkit, you have tools identified, and you have figured it out, and you are deploying it right there. Similarly, when you are going through this, we work with many customers to see that who are the stakeholders for different phases of the migration. What do they want to see? Some of them want to see total cost of ownership. Some of them want to see service level agreements. Some of them have different stakeholders in different migration phase have different interests. So how do you build business case for each one of them so that you have internal support and buy-in while you are going through this journey? When you are going through migration, now that you have the buy-in, you need to enable the team. As much as you have partners helping you, you need internal people who understand your applications, services, and infrastructure who can really make this happen. So you need some enablement. You need different types of enablements. Whether you are a partner or a customer, you all need enablements. We are learning, you are learning. So if you are working, you need a set of solution architects who really understand. If you are a partner, you need a sales team who understands how to position it. If you are a business owner, you need a different set of skills. So we have built enablement systems and packages for different audiences for different parts of the migration. So all these things we have figured out and built it as entire programs. So workload migration program, migration readiness, migration acceleration, these are all part of the programs you are familiar with. I revisited that because I know that that is at the heart of many of the customers, and as us together, partners and us working together, we can make a difference. So we talked about New Relic. They are a DevOps partner, but expanding into migration opportunities. Here you can see that Dunkin' Donuts is a very famous brand. What New Relic did really, they took their legacy workloads and migrated to cloud. While they did that, they re-architected the whole value. They helped them really identify the bottlenecks, the issues, do the root cause analysis, and bring it to the point where customer is actually seeing the value throughout the migration. As you can see that it's not just the monitoring, there are tons of other tools that started all coming together. But the key is that DevOps partner, stretched that muscle and went beyond DevOps to really, learn and make themselves available as a migration partner. Another example, we all know Dynatrace. Again, a DevOps partner. They took this customer opportunity for SailPoint, and they migrated their tons of workloads. They use AWS Strategic Platform for faster innovations, And overall, once the migration is done, customers saw a ton of value, and they could see much increased customer satisfaction while working with Dynatrace. Any questions? So you want to take that?
Can you repeat the question?
You had mentioned the toolkits
Yes.
or packages for each part or phase of the migration cycle that you're on. Where do you find those? Where are those at?
So the migration toolkits are published, and we have private listing for each of these tools, but Kalpan can take that more in detail.
So there's an email contact that you can write to as a customer or a partner to get an access to the toolkit or any specific playbook that you're interested in. With that, I would also say that the access to the partner tools is made available all on Marketplace. So you can go to Marketplace and access them, or go through the transaction, which is privately listed for a heavier discount if this is a mass migration kind of project. Yes.
Yeah.
That's true. It's going to come up in a couple of slides.
Let me call it out. So the email address for any of these opportunity, whether you're working with JIRA, you are working on migration, we are working on DevOps, and you see any of these interesting opportunities that you want to explore in detail, our email address is DevOpsMigrationTeam@Amazon.com. I will put it in, it's in the last slide, so you will see that. DevOpsMigrationTeam@Amazon.com. So you can contact us. You already have JIRA, and you say, hey, can you please just email me the work playbook, or you want to learn more about the migration toolkit, or you want to figure out how to list your tool in the migration toolkit, or you want to get some enablement material, or you have a customer opportunity where you want to tell us that, hey, let's go and work together. Can you help me? Or you are a customer and you are that, hey, I want to go through this migration. I need help. Anything, you send an email and we will get back to you. Any material you need, any help you need, we are here to help. So another example, everybody knows about NASDAQ. So AppDynamics has been working with, again, NASDAQ, so, another very big migration opportunity. And like I said, migrations will be in different buckets. Some are just trying to be ready for migration, so we have migration readiness program. Some are doing really mass migration. Some of the new CIOs have put a mandate that we want to shut down our data centers by end of 2019. So that's a mass migration opportunity that needs different set of things. So, for different types of migrations, we have different assets, different collaterals, different best practices and tools. And again, if you email us, we'll be happy to share whatever we know based on the type of opportunity. If you are just exploring and you need some guidance or help on how to prioritize, how to discover, how to get started, what things to worry about, how to sell business case, we are here to help. So again, we talked about BMC discovery tool, but there are not just the discovery tool, whether it is discovery, it is cost optimization, it is monitoring, it is service ticketing, right? So how many of you use Remedy? Excellent. So did you know that Remedy is also working with Aurora? We just got started, and it's an excellent opportunity if you are a partner. So we talked about workload specific migration program. So if you want to work on the Oracle specific migration program, that let's take Oracle and put Aurora, again, that's another opportunity for all the Remedy customers. So given that the migration is such a large bucket, there are so many different types of opportunities that we can explore. Another one very, very key is DevOps transformation leading to cloud migration. So, as we know that, we all need continuous delivery to meet our customers' demands. Now, if you don't deliver them what they are asking for faster than your competitor, they are likely to switch. It used to be that there were few years ELA and customer will stick with you until 3-year ELA is done, and then they go find another tool. Nowadays, that all these tools are so easily available that if they don't like it, they just quickly switch their subscription model. So what happens is that to deliver them what they need quickly, you need continuous delivery. You need agility in your application and services. And while you are taking your existing workloads, you are figuring out that how do I go through DevOps transformation. And I personally led, DevOps transformation for a very large enterprise company internally, and it's a big hairy problem that you have so many applications and services with different landscape and different level of usage patterns. You're trying to figure out, I want to deliver continuously, but I really can't do this, and there is so much legacy code, there's so much technical debt. How am I going to do it? And at that time, again, you are looking at your trusted advisor, DevOps consulting partners, to see how do I do that. So you are working with companies like Accenture or Capgemini or Cognizant, or you are working with smaller consulting partners like Flux7 or CompuGain or IT Methods, and you're working with these companies to really, second watch and CTP, and to figure out how do I transform my, applications and services. How do I reduce my release cycles? You're thinking about test-driven development. You are thinking about when my developers have access to production, are they really going to mess something up? Am I going to have big outages? You are thinking about my developers don't want to work on operations. They don't want to have, somebody call them in the middle of the night when there is an outage. So you are going through all these things. At that time, you are working with your consulting partners. This is perfect time when you need to think about, once I am going through this journey, I don't want it on-prem. I want it in public cloud. So every time there is new innovation, I can leverage that, and not only my application is agile and very responsive, but my infrastructure is also very agile. Also, DevOps consulting partners are already very trusted. So customers really are trusting them that you guys know how to do it. So DevOps consulting partners not only can advise on how to transform your applications or services, but can also advise that how is it going to be when you move to cloud? What does your security posture look like? What is your monitoring when you are in cloud? Will your existing monitoring tool work? How about the support and ticketing issues, right? So you might have some old system where there is somebody raises an issue, and then the customer raises a support ticket. Then L1 support responds to that, then it goes to L2 support, and then L3 support, and somebody enters the log file, and finally somebody solves something. And while this customer's ticket is being transferred, customer is waiting. Now, you can use PagerDuty and, Zendesk and bunch of other tools. And what they do is that, in the Slack channel, you can see that somebody raised a ticket and the right person is already, paged and in the Slack channel where he can see all the log files and ticket details. And if he can't do it immediately, it goes to next person who is again in the same Slack channel, and they are solving the same problem. And that turnaround time is much shorter. And even customer has more visibility into what's happening behind the door. So there is no lack of transparency in this situation. So when you are moving to cloud, many of these tools are changing. So your DevOps consulting partners are advising you that when you go to cloud, what kind of workloads and what kind of tools and what kind of things you are doing. So that's perfect time to start thinking about, can we expand this project instead of just thinking about DevOps to actually cloud migration, because that's where it's going to land, and that's where overall benefit to customer is going to be much higher. So as you see, Flux7 is a valued partner of ours. They worked with Enterprise Media Group, and important thing to understand is that when you are doing these things, there are so many phases where you are taking these applications and moving it, and then at that time you are thinking about what's my landing zone, what is the I need service catalog, I need templates, I need best practices. So we have partners who have worked together, and we have figured it out that you can quickly leverage. One thing I want to call out is that we have DevOps competency and migration competency. So we have specific set of partners who have made through the competency, and we hold really high bar for them, that these partners are really vetted, they understand migration, they understand DevOps, and they can really help you. So this is a really good source of information for our customers to work with us, that hey, these are the partners that AWS trusts. So if you see a set of partners who are already in our migration or DevOps competency, that means they really understand that space. And we have taken them through serious process and test to make sure that they have really proven their point and value. Any questions? I know we are going to run out of time, so just want to pause and make sure. So partnering with us, we can help in many different ways. We can co-sell, we can, you can list it on marketplace, we can help with the development, we can fund the POCs and pilots. With the customers, we can provide you anything that you need in the migration journey, because we work with hundreds of partners and we figure out things that happen every day, and what we try to do is capture all these learnings and build in these playbooks and practices that we share. We also provide funding for partners based on advanced, premier, or standard, and based on their competency level, they can get different level of funding for POC or pilot. Even our customers, right, if you're going through this journey and you are trying some pilot and you don't know if you can get funding internally, work with us and we'll make sure we fund a partner to do this pilot for you. So we have segment team who are deep domain experts for specific areas, and we have partner solution architects team who help. We also provide PR support, executive briefings, and enablement help. We do everything to make sure we share the knowledge, and at the end of the day, again, happy customers, and we all make money while making our customers happy. So these are some of the resources available. With that, I do, we also do the joint events, but I do want to share this email address with you for sure again, that, in this session, I want to tell you that, again, we have worked with hundreds of customers, and migration falls into different buckets. If you take one bucket and try to solve the same problem again and again, then you should not have any problem if you leverage the learnings that we have developed over time. So whether it's workload specific migration, whether it is mass migration, whether it's migration readiness. Second thing I want to say is that all the DevOps partners have humongous opportunity to expand their work and reach outside DevOps to really migration and become the cloud migration partners, not just the DevOps partners. Third thing is that if you identify any specific problems that our customers are facing again and again and again, and you would like to build a program that let's work together because we see customers struggling here every day. We can help build specific programs for specific type of workloads or issues. And all the DevOps tools are actually cloud migration tools. So when customers, you guys are looking for tools, think about DevOps as essential part of cloud migration. And I do want to call out that AWS team is here to help. We have many valued partners that we can recommend. We can, based on your unique situation, we can call out that this is the type of partner who has deep domain expertise in this particular area who can help. So anything you need, please contact us at DevOpsMigrationTeam@Amazon.com, and we'll do everything to make it easy for you. Any questions I can take? Either it's very easy to understand or it's too complex and confusing. So many of the partners are here whom we referred here, and many of the customers are here. So again, use this opportunity to get to know each other. And I hope to see you all here throughout the week, and it's going to be a great show. Thank you.